Well, all right, here's my engine run stand that I just completed, and I did quite a bit of searching on the internet for not necessarily plans, but just some ideas. And if you're really looking for something like that, I mean, what I would suggest is look at multiple videos and pictures, etc., and get some ideas, because obviously you're not going to be able to find a step-by-step of how to build one. But most guys that are thinking about doing it have the skills to do it. It's not that hard. But that being said, the biggest challenges really are, for me at least, were making all the things that fit in the car fit on the stand. And what I'm talking about is really like your flywheel, your starter, and the headers were the biggest thing. At first, it seemed like it wasn't going to work, and then I would modify something. So it was a stepped process basically. But what I ended up doing was, anybody's thinking about doing this has an engine stand, and so you can kind of see on the side here, this is like an all-star engine stand that just sits on the two legs, and it sits enough off the ground that you can put your bell housing on, etc. And what I did was I modified everything so it's modular, so I could still use that. I didn't want to ruin anything, at least in this case. And then I had a regular, cheap, typical engine stand that I've had for years. I used the back of that. And what I ended up doing was, I saw another video a guy did that he used like an engine dolly off of Summit or somewhere like that. It has wheels. You can see that's a portion of it there. But I ended up just buying an engine stand off of Summit, engine dolly. And at first I thought that was going to work, because I watched a video, a guy made it work, or made one work that was similar. But my my starter, the headers wouldn't fit. I mean, there was just too much stuff. So I ended up buying that and then cutting it apart. This was my shelter-in-place project. So basically, getting steel and doing some other things. So I didn't want to make as many trips, and a lot of places were closed. So I ended up cutting that apart and just piecing it together. So it's kind of the Franken stand, really. It's nothing beautiful. I made this kind of unplugs, you can pull the gas can off here. There's pieces of a broken canopy frame that I use, and expanded metal. This is a portion of the Summit. These I just fabbed up out of some scrap. Everything was made out of scrap other than the engine stands. The one engine stand two engine stands are still good, and then the third one I cut up, and it was only like I said, $45. You'll need a battery. I mean, there's certain ways to do it. You can do it with jump boxes. One guy had a garden hose and no radiator. I wanted everything to be as is in the car, in the sense that it's going to run long enough that, I mean, the purpose of me building it was to diagnose some things, and oil leaks, etc. And I think most people that are thinking about doing this are probably wanting to break in a cam, or before they go to the trouble of putting it into a car, because coming from personal knowledge, taking the engine in and out of a car really sucks. So this was a lot more work than I anticipated, but you can do it to whatever level you want. Obviously, I ended up building a little dashboard, and had this fan controller, and it had a relay in it, so it made sense just to wire that up. It was just sitting in a package. It's old. Ignition, the battery's not connected, start button, kill switch, wired up an MSD box. I just got a little Street Fire box. I didn't feel like cutting my 6AL out of the car because it's all soldered. This is backup parts, basically. Other than the tack and the box, everything else was stuff I had at the house. Canopy parts. This dash actually unplugs. You can pull the whole dash out. The wires are all left long on purpose, because I didn't want to cut wires on the box or on the tack or any of that stuff. Just use all scrap wire, and it's all pretty much just butt connected, etc. I'm not going to solder I spent so much time already, it didn't make sense. But yeah, to whatever level you want to do it, obviously. We'll see. I'll attach a clip of it running, and